Welcome to 8 Steps to Achieving Physical Greatness. Let's do it. Step 1. This may seem obvious, but we want to define it really well. We want to put time and location on it so we have a solid reference. When we want to drive somewhere, we punch in the location into our GPS and it comes up with a number of routes. If we don't punch in a location, you guessed it, the GPS gives us no information and we stay put or go around in circles, essentially lost. So, in an example, Ted wants to run a marathon. Adding specifics, Ted is going to run the marathon in Auckland, New Zealand, August 23rd this year. Woohoo! Now, intention is not the same as expectation. When you punch in that destination into your vehicle's GPS, it comes up with a number of routes, shortest, most economical, and a couple of others, because how we get there has many opportunities, detours, and best of this day ways. When we expect something to go some way and it doesn't, we risk abandoning our goal altogether. This is not to say we're haphazard about a goal, we just need some flexibility room. Hey, I'd planned to train outside today, but it's hideous weather out there, so I'll train inside instead. Next is why. Why does Ted want to run that marathon? If you know your why, when things get tough and you're dragging, your why pulls you through. Your why is important. Time and life, it's going to pass by anyway. Having a goal and a strong why to stick you to it makes it far more pleasant. So, Ted's why. He watched his brother do a marathon, and the joy on his face when he crossed the line, man, that was ecstatic. He felt the vibes, and his brother's been buzzing ever since, planning his next one too. Now, Ted's not really done anything that's given him that much buzz and pride. He just wants a piece of that. He wants to cross the finish line, wave his arms in the air like he just don't care and feel good. And nice, we've already got Ted visualizing it. Step 2. Notice now the goal and why is in focus. Ted's written a couple of things on his pros and cons list. These highlight our strengths, weaknesses, and any ambivalence. They give us opportunity to build an effective plan and solidify our goal. We can ask ourselves 4 crazy questions, right? What is good about not changing? What would be bad about changing? What might be good about changing? And what might be bad about not changing? Step 3. We're going to explore these cons and build an action plan to deal with them. Why did Ted write give up bread on his cons list? Yeah, there it is. Well, you see, bread makes him bloat, gives him a tummy ache, leaving him de-energized. Not really conducive for exercise, but he loves bread. What can he do? SUDS is a rate you give about how you feel about something. One being, yep, all good, to 10, OMG, I need help. Ted rates his ability to give up bread at a 3. He can do it with just a little management. In exploration, we find that Ted has bread as a snack 2 to 3 times per day. He gets home from work, throws some jam on a couple of slices, does the same after dinner, calls that dessert, and if he has a late night watching a movie, he'll have some more. Right, time to deal with those insidious cons holding you back. Now, Ted's read some nutritional literature explaining how eating slower sends signals to our brains telling us we are feeling full. Who knew? He decides to give that a go. Lo and behold, he doesn't need his dessert. The pain in his tum has eased a bit and he's feeling satisfied on less food. He figures he'll test this for a couple of weeks. By the end, he's replaced his movie snack with a hot chocolate drink and grabs a carrot when he walks in the door from work. The con became a pro-listed statement. And we go through like this, making action plans to sort our obstacles. He finds he has a spare half hour where he is lazily scrolling Facebook and opts to add that to his workout time. Coupled with a sleep app he downloads, he finds he's no loss of sleep. Ted's had knee surgery before and makes an action plan to check in with his doctor to evaluate the integrity of his knee's condition. Maybe he'll get a vigorous stretching program from a rehabilitation expert and get a good training program that suits him. Ted now has a pretty decent action plan to get the ball rolling, make those appointments. With this point, I'm referring back to an earlier slide. Ted's knee may mean he crosses the line of a different race, a half marathon, 10 kilometres, or even a bike race. Can his goal alter and still feed his why? Step 4. This seemingly rabbit hole we've been going down is leading to achieving your goal. We have our goal always prominently placed in our sight, and each and every day we're ticking off what needs to be done. I can only urge you to always keep your goal at the forefront of your brain. Should those negative Nancy con list dealings have you feeling like you're sludging through the mud? Let's keep it upbeat, giving reason and meaning to what you're doing. I may be giving you a longer, informative tutorial. In reality, these steps will take you literally minutes. Remember to do a self-check to gauge a sense of how you feel about your goal. Is it still burning within your heart to complete? If it's in your head and heart, you can do it. It's meant for you. Step 5. We need to help ourselves and develop a few habits. Ted sets up a 6-day per week alarm that gets him up, uses a meditation app for 20 minutes to help him disconnect from work thoughts, enabling him to focus on training, gets his family buy-in so they don't disturb him in that time, and begins writing a daily food journal of what and when he eats, so he can be sure he's getting all the nutrients he needs to fuel his body. He arranges a rest day in his schedule, so now his environment is supporting his goal. But how will you know you're on the right track? Ted needs little steps along the way to answer that. His marathon is in August. It's now January. Working backwards, he believes he needs to be able to comfortably run a half marathon distance by March, and right now he's not far from it. He will go on placing various smaller checkpoints or test parameters in at weekly steps, such as adding a further 2 kilometres to his run the following week. Feedback. Yeah, it's just that. It's neither good nor bad. It just is what it is at face value for us to take and do what we please with. Its value is tremendous. If our performance doesn't match our checkpoints, we simply adjust them. Are we getting enough information that we want or need from our tests? Do we need to alter, drop, or add some? Maybe Ted would like to measure his pace per kilometre every 2 weeks. Step 6. Each step along the way, absolutely 100%, requires celebration in some small way, each day, each week. Throw those arms up and yell yes. Do not be skint on rewarding yourself and allowing that joy to come in. Well, seriously, what's the point of it all? Have some fun. Smile. Maybe buy yourself some new gear a couple of months into it for slaying it. Who cares? Just be happy, inwardly, outwardly, unashamedly. Let the momentum of your goal really embody your essence. Feel it, smell it, visualize crossing that line, knowing that everything you're doing is winning. Winning. Step 7. Okay. Even if this is a one-time only thing, There are things you can take from this experience forward, integrating them into an improved lifestyle, giving you a platform to launch into your next goal faster and more successful. Ted plans to rest for a week after the marathon. Then he'll keep training 3 times a week and use a sleep app to maintain fitness and clarity. Step 8. This can be the hardest thing for an athlete. We always want to do better, and that in of itself is a grand thing. That does not, however, mean the result you got this time was poor. You achieved something. You made something out of your time that did not exist before. The all important, how can we ever grow without feedback? Don't make the mistake of throwing months of effort up into the sky and blowing it to pieces. In review, you had some brilliant moments, and crossing that line was the shizzle. Life's a gift. We're meant to fill it with joy, passion, and all manner of goals so we can sit back in our rocking chair, ale in hand, with one deep smile, glint in the eye, knowing it was one heck of a ride and a life worth living. So, what's next? Well, go on, get going, get out of here, go beat that pavement and be greatness.